ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये। नमो महावतान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतस् चार्थे सुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। We are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, chapter 41, verse number 20. So we read that how Krishna and Balram, they were carried to Mathura by Akrur, and along with them Nanda Maharaj and some other Brajvasis also came. And then we came to the gate of Mathura, and Akrura wanted to take Sri Krishna and Balram to his house, but Krishna said that he will come later on. And he sent Akrur, and then they entered in the evening. After relaxing for some time, they entered into the city. So now it is being described what they saw there. And we did verse number 19, no? 20. We did 20, right? 21, okay. Okay, so Kulshekhar, you have some question?
Hare Krishna, Bhagavad. Yeah, I had a question about yesterday's class, if that's okay.
Sure.
In shloka number 9, in the commentary, it was mentioned that although Krishna smiled, it...
Internet lost.
On Monday, while
So we lost the connection for some time.
Oh, sorry.
So I only heard you saying that Krishna smiled. After that I did not hear.
Oh. So he was smiling, but inside he was full of grief because he was remembering Raj. Well, I think you mentioned this point about how Raj Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, and Vasudeva Sutta came and took his place. So I don't quite understand how that works. Because if this is Mathura Krishna, how can he be sad because of not being in Raj?
Yes, this is the interesting thing. So that is our understanding, but this is not the storyline. Unless somebody explains to you, the story is not like that Krishna left, remained here, and there was another one who came there. That is the explanation given by the Goswamis, and that is from the Rasa point of view. But that's not part of the story. The story is that there is only one Krishna, and obviously otherwise why the Okay. Can you hear now? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you have to keep in mind that this understanding that there is Vrajiya Krishna and there is Dwarka Krishna and there is Mathura Krishna, that is from the Rasa point of view. Krishna is only one, and this is how the story is being explained. Otherwise so many things will go completely off. As I was explaining that there is no point in Uddhava coming and bringing a message. Why should the Mathura or Dwarka Krishna send a message to Gopis if he has not been here? So that's not how you have to understand the story. The story is that there is only one Krishna and there is separation. Okay?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Anything else? Okay, so we are on verse number 21. So this is a description of the city of Mathura, and there is a lot of opulence. In Vraj there was no such description, but here there is a description of Aishwarya. So this also shows the difference in the mood when you go from Vraj to Mathura. So you are going from Madhurya to Aishwarya. So there is no talk of dust here. Therefore they say Vraj Raj. Have you heard the word Dwarka Raj? Mathura Vraj Raj? It is Vraj Raj. So here things are clean. So Savarna Sringataka Harma Niskutai Shreni Sabhabhirbhavnai Rupaskritam Vaidurya Vajramala Nila Vidrumair Mukta Haridhi Bhirvalabhishu Vedishu. So these are all description of the various things which are made from different precious gems or gold. So it says Savarna means made from gold. Sringataka. Sringataka is the road crossings. So you see sometimes that in India especially you may see sometimes there is a crossing and there is a circle. So generally you see that circle there is nothing, but in India sometimes you see some statues installed there, right? Or some other decoration. Like if you go to Mathura and there is Maharaj Agrasen sitting there on a big throne, right, when you go there on the crossing. So that's what is being described here. Savarna Sringatak Harme Niskutam. So there were rich palaces. Harme means palace, and they're also made with different golden things. There are gardens. And Shreni Sabhabi, there are houses, assembly houses, and Bhavnair Upaskritam. So this is how the city was appearing. Means there were nice big houses and assembly houses where people come and meet or have some program. And Vaidurya Vajra Amala Neela Vidrumai Mukta Haridbhir Valbhishu Vedishu. And then there are things which are made of different types of gems. Vaidurya and Vajra is diamond, sphatic, blue sapphire, and Mukta is pearls, and Haridbhi is another. So these were all decorations. And there were Valabhi. Valabhi has different meaning. Could mean the terrace. Could also mean some kind of arrangement made for birds to sit in front of the house. You put some wooden things. That is also called Valabhi or Vadabhi. And there are Vedis, means places to sit. If you see some, especially if you have seen this Rajasthani Havelis, the entrance, they make seat outside at the gate. So generally the guard would sit there, because guards have to be there and guards is not always standing. So he sits down. So there is a permanent place made, so they sit on that. That is called Vedi. And they were also nicely decorated. So there is probably not much comment on it. So it says Savarna Sringatakya. Savarna means golden and Sringatakya means Chatuspatha. So Sringatak is where 4 roads come from 4 directions and meet. that is called Harmyani, Dhani Grihani. Harmya means the houses of rich people. Niskuta, Griha Rama. And Niskuta means the pleasure gardens which are in the houses. Like people have backyard garden. So their garden in the front side of the house also. Because back side will not be visible to them. She is describing means they were in the front. And Shreninam Ekarupa Silpi Silpa Upajivinam. So Shreni here refers to craftsmen, and there were houses for them. And Sabhabhir Upveshana Sthanair. So Sabha here means the place for sitting, where people could just come and sit and talk. So in the evening time especially, people gather and relax and talk. So Bhavanair Alankrita. This is how the city was decorated. And Veduri Adi Ratnair Justeshu Valbhi Adishu. So there were these Valbhis or terraces which were made from different or decorated with different articles made from gems. Like you see sometimes on the terraces people put these flower pots and nice flowers in them. So these pots were also decorated with gems. And Avishtair Upvishtair Asaktair Va Paravatair Bahibhischa Nadita. So he says that this is, where is the word Avishtair? No, this is going to the next sloka. Somehow is, this is not in this verse.
Normally has combined 3 verses for and commentary. That's what we see here.
Yeah,
4 verses are all combined.
yeah, it's all combined because Avishta is in the next. So anyway, we'll read the next one. So Justeshu Jalamukha Randhra Kuttimeshu Avishta Paravat Barhi Naditam Sansikta Rathyapana Marga Chatvaram Pakirna Malyankura Laja Tandulam. So he says that there were very beautiful Jalamukh. Jalamukh is like windows. Like you said, we call it Jali. So these are called Jalamukh. They are also called Gavaksha, different types. If it is on the top of the old houses, like now you see these houses, these are Western style. Because they are primarily made either to protect from the cold or in the summer you have AC. So you don't want to lose the heat or cold. But in India there was no such thing. So if you see old Indian houses, they will have 2 types of windows. One is lower, and then on the opposite side there will be window on top. So this gives a cross circulation because the cold air comes and goes up. So the top part they are called Gavaksha, and the lower one they are called Jalamukha. In English both probably can be just said like a window. So that's what is said Jalamukha here. Jalamukha Randhra Kuttimeshu, and Kuttima means floor, and Avishta Paravat Barhinaditam. And then there were pigeons in the houses which were making their sound gutter go. That's how pigeons do, right? They go up and down and they make some sound. So that is what is being described here. So this is where the Valbhi is being described. Avishtair Upvishtair Asaktairva. So Avishtai means that they were sitting there or they were attached. Paravatair Bahibhischa Naditam. So the Barhivi, there were peacocks and also pigeons, and they were making sound. Tattat pratidhvani matvena taireva karitana nadam ityartha. So they were making sounds, different types. Tatra valbhi griha chuda iti kshira swami. So valbhi is also called something which is on the top of the house. That is another word. Valbhi has different meanings. So this is by Srila Swami, who is a commentator on our course. Achadnam sthad valbhi grihanamiti halayudha. Halayudha is another course. He says that valbhi is covering of the house and valbhi chandrashalika iti trikandashesha. So there are different meanings given to this word valbhi. Some are saying that it is what you call chandrashalika, or the small room which is made on the top of the house. You can sit there. It's called chandrashala because you can see the moon at night from there. So that is also called valabhi according to Trikanda. Sacha sarva griho parivartani gaya. So this was made at the top of the house. Every house had that. So especially in the summertime you can sleep there. Nice cool breeze comes on the roof. Inside is hot, but there you get cool breeze, especially in the morning. So Vedir grihagre ishtakadi baddha vishranti bhu jala mukha randhrani. And this Vedi is also used where you do yajna. So that is also called Vedi, but here this is not that. He says this is a place to relax outside the gate. So made from bricks. Ishtaka means the brick. That's why in Hindi it is called eat. Comes from the Sanskrit Ishtaka. So Ishtakadi Baddha Vishranti Bhu. And Jalamukha Randhrani. Jalamukha is the openings for the wind. And then he says Sansikta Rathyapana Marga Chatvaram. So Gavaksha Chidrani Kuttimani Manivadda Bhumaya. Kuttim is floor, and floor was also inlaid with some gems. And Rathya, so Rathya is called the footpath or the roads. He says it is a Rajmarga. Rajmarga means highway, royal path. And Apana Panya Vidya. There are also shops around in the city. And Marga Avantar Vartmani. And then there were other small paths going from the main road. Chatvarani Anganani Apurni. Chatvar means the courtyard. So Apurnahi Kumbhaidadhi Chandan Ityadishu Shad Visheshena Ashishte. So he describes that Sanskrit, these roads, they were sprinkled with fragrant water. And Prakirna Malyankura Laja Tandula. So they had also put garlands, and because this was also the time for the festival. Remember that Kamsa has arranged for a big festival, and that's where Krishna was invited for that. So they had also spread laja. Laja is what is called roasted rice. It is considered as auspicious to spread it, and tandul is uncooked rice. So sometimes if you see when there are marriage parties, and then they throw laja and tandul. So there are also sprouts on the pots. You put some yava, barley sprouts. Apurna kumbhaidadhi chandanokshatair pashuna depavaliਭis sapallavai savrindaram bhakramukai saketubhi swalankrita dwaragurham sapattikai. So he's further explaining that how it was decorated. So outside the house they had kept pots full of water, kumbha. Ghat. Yes. So that was full of water, apurna kumbhai, and there was also dadhi, yogurt, and chandan ukshitai. So they have sprinkled it with the yogurt and sandalwood paste. And prasuna deepavali bhi sapallavi. And then on top of it there were flower garland, and on top of that there was a row of lamps. And then there were pallava, means these shoots, fresh leaves from the trees. So that's how they had decorated it. And along with it there are also savrinda rambha kramukai. So there were trunks of the banana plant. So sometimes you've seen when they have festival, they cut the banana plant and put it on near next to the gates. And there were also betel trees, kramuk. And saketu bhi, there were flags. Swalankrita dwara griham sapattike. So this is how the gates were decorated. That on the both sides of the house they put these pots and banana plant and also betel nut. So these are all considered as very auspicious in Indian culture. And then there were also festoons or ribbons made of cloth which were tied around, like you also tied outside the gate. That is called bandanwar. Take the leaves, tie them to the thread and hang there. So that's how the gates were decorated. So Kuttimani Manivad Bhumya Rathya Rajmarga Apna Pandavithya Marga Avantarvartmani Chatvarani Angani Apurni Kumbhai Dadhi Chandana Ityadi Shad Visheshana Vishishtai. So there are 6 Visheshnas or qualifiers for the pot. Swalankritani Dvarani Yeshanti. So that's how the houses were decorated. Te Griha Yashyantam Vrinda Phala Sahitam Sanghati. So there are also some fruits near these pots. So basically you take the pot, put some sand, then on top of that you put the pot, some fruits around it, and then you have this. So therefore it says Vrindam here means Savrinda Rambha Kramukai. Vrinda refers to fruits. And Rambha Kadalya. Rambha means Kadali, that is banana. Kramukaha, that is betel nut. Ketavo Dhvajaha Swapataka. And Ketava means flag. And Pattika Vitasti Vistara Patta Vastra Khandani. And Pattika refers to piece of cloth which is wide one with vitasti. Vitasti is the distance when you spread your hand from tip of the thumb to the tip of the small finger, that is called vitasti. So there were cloths that wide which were strung. So that's how it appeared. So he says Atra iyam ritihi, this is how it is made. Dvareshu ubhayata standulanam upari kumbha. So he says on the gates on both sides, first you put rice, and on top of the rice you put the pot, and tatparitaha prasuno valayaha, and on top of that or around the pot you may put garland of flowers. And kumbha nam kanthe pattika, and then the neck of the pot you tie cloth, And mukheshu chutadi pallava. And on top of the pot, you put leaves such as mango leaves or ashoka tree, these types of leaves. So you put them on from the side. And tadupari swarna patre deepavalli. Then on top of that you put a golden pot, and that pot has got lamps, ghee lamps in it. And in the center coconut. But coconut is not mentioned here because there is no coconut here. Coconut only South India. Otherwise there is coconut. So kumbhanam parshadvaye rasma vrikshadvayam. So on the two sides of the pot there were these two trees. That is trees of the banana. So there is a pot here. So you one banana plant this side of the pot, another on this side. And then he says agre paschatsa kramuka vrakshadam. And on the front side and back side of the pot is the betel nut tree. And ketavaha kumbhalamba. And ketava, the flag, so they are support for the pot. So this is how he describes this.
Will you please explain the last point, that the flag is support for the pots? How is this possible? Are the pots on top of the flag, or?
No, just kumbhalamba. It doesn't say. Probably it's just next to the pot and on top there is a flag. It doesn't say how is it tied or not. Let me see. She explains it. Must have tied it, because that's what alamba means, kumbhalamba, to support. It would have been tied in the pot.
So that the flag is tied to the pot, and not that the pot is on top of
No,
the flag.
it's
Okay.
not on the top.
Okay, then I understood. Okay, and then I want to clarify. So we are now. So the description is now that of this road show that you mentioned earlier, right? That now Krishna, Balaram, and the Gopas.
They're walking on the main road.
Yeah, they're going into. Okay.
The main entrance
Mathura.
to the city.
All right. So it's not what you see from outside the city, but we're already inside the city, and
Yeah,
these are the okay.
and it's the evening time.
I see. It's not some suburb or some. Yeah.
It's the main town.
Okay.
Is there any difference between Ghata and Kumbha, or are they interchangeable and can be used likewise?
No, it's just two words.
And if you say cooking pot, is it Pacha Kumbha and Ghata doesn't matter?
Kumbha, I think, is made from clay, and ghata could be anything. Because ku means Prithvi, earth. So Kumbha is used for clay pot.
It's about this barley sprouts. Mean that they have a pot where they put some earth and then they put the barley and then the barley grows and then they use it as a decoration.
Yeah, generally they put it around.
Oh,
Like they put some sand
yeah.
and then they put the
Sprout
seeds in that and it sprouts.
Oh.
Then center you put the pot.
So they have to prepare it before.
Yeah, it starts of course before.
Okay.
cannot make sprout in 5 minutes.
Take some days. Yeah, okay, nice.
Babaji, traditionally there is another use for the banana trees in front of the houses.
Traditionally?
Culturally there is different uses that they do putting the banana trees in front of the houses.
No, this is only for decoration.
Oh, because in sustainable gardening and design, they use the banana trees in front of the houses plus other flowers for purifying the water, the black water that get used from the home. In the channels, they seed the banana trees like the main tree that has to be in front for purifying the water, so the water can be reused.
There was no problem of purification at that time. This is a new problem.
Okay.
In that time everything was pure.
Okay.
Because nobody did anything to make the water impure. So it's a modern problem.
And this cutting of the banana plant is because that the bananas grow so fast, or there were so many that because it's in one aspect is that it's auspicious, and it's also giving this inauspicious feeling to cut the banana trees for decoration purposes.
Banana has this capacity that it grows, and after giving fruit it dies. You know that? You know that? After the banana plant gives tree, then it will die and the new sprouts come up. They're already coming up. You put one, you have to put the root. Banana does not have seeds, you know that. So the only way you plant it, that you have to put the root. And from the root, other roots come out, so you can cut that and put, comes up. Okay, Mohini.
You explained that ku means earth, and then I remember that ka means sky. Can you maybe say something more about these words in your meaning?
I cannot hear you. Your sound is not clear.
Now you can hear me?
Yeah.
You said ku means earth, and then I remembered that ka means sky. Can you say more about the meanings of these words? How does ku means earth, and how does this come about?
If I ask you what does banana mean, then you will tell me banana is a fruit. So what can you say? So these are words and they have meaning.
But from where this meaning comes, that ku means earth and ka means face?
Where do you mean from where it comes? So language has words and words have their meaning. So you can check dictionary. Ultimately in Sanskrit, nouns are made from dhatus and dhatus have meaning. If you want to see that, then it comes from that. Satam sampravrishtau vasudeva nandanau vritau vayashay naradeva vartmana drashtum samiyo stvarita purastriyo harmyani chaivaruruhu nirpotsukaha. So he says that the two sons of Vasudeva, Krishna and Balaram, they entered that city and they were surrounded by their friends, and they entered through Naradeva Vartmana. So Naradev means king, Vartma means path. So it means the royal path or royal road, which what you call as highway or main path. And when they were going through that, then Drashtum Samiyus Tvarita Purastriyo. Then the ladies of the city, they came out to see them. because they have heard so many stories about Krishna and Balaram all these years, but they never got to see them. So now they themselves have come. So they went on the top of their house. They went onto the roof. Harmyani chaiva aruruhu nirpotsuka, because they are very eager to see these two boys. So they went up and looking at them. So Nardeva Vartmana Rajmargene. So Nardeva Vartmana means the royal path or royal road. Puri Pravishtau Ramakrishna Drashtu Purastriya Sameyo. So the ladies of the city, they came to see these two brothers, Krishna and Balaram, who has entered the city. And Samhatya Jagmu, they were together. Harmyani cha Kashidaruru. So some of them were on the road and others were on the roofs of the houses. And they came to see. So now there is a description about the ladies, because without ladies there is not much fun. So men did not run to see them, right? There is no statement that men came running. So it's all about ladies, because they are the one who have the bhav. Men have abhav. Right? Prag bhav, pradhansa bhav, atanta bhav, anyonya bhav. So they all have abhav. So ladies who have the bhav. So they are full of bhav, and now their bhav is being described. So what is being described here is bhav. Don't go to the real stuff, what is being said. This is the way to describe. This is how Vyanjana Vritti works. So this type of description also came when gopis came. When gopis heard the flute played by Krishna on the Rāsa-līlā night. Exactly similar description here. This is without the flute. But they already, the news went, Krishna Balaram is there. So everybody came to running. So Kaschid Vipariya Dhrit Vastra Bhushana Vismritya Chaikam Yugleshvatha Paraha Kritaika Patra Shravanaika Nupura Naktva Dvitiyam Tvaparaschalochanam. So he says Kaschid Viparyak Dhrita Vastra Bhushana. So someone came in a hurry and she has put the cloth upside down, inside out, in a wrong manner, and same with the ornaments. So ornaments and cloths not put on properly. In a hurry, and because of this sambram, this intense curiosity, excitement to go and see them. And Vishmitya Chaikam Yugleshu Athapara. And then some other ladies, they had to put only one earring or one bangle, not the other one. Out of two, Yugala means two. So out of two, there was only one they were wearing. And Kritaika Patra Shramanaika Nupura. And they had only one ankle bell or Ekapatra. It's another type of ornament. And Naktva Dvitiyam Tvaparascha Lochanam. And then some other lady, so she forgot to complete the Anjana, or this put in the eyes. So put in one eye kajal, and the other one she forgot, or she put it in the wrong place in a hurry. So that's how they came. Sa Atsukyam Vivrinoti Dvabhyam. So in the two slokas, he is describing their curiosity, their excitement to see Krishna. Kaschideti. Viparyak vipritam yatha syat tatha dhritani vastrani bhushnani cha yabhista. So as I said, that this type of description is mainly to describe the intensity of their eagerness. It is not necessary that they were dressed like that, but just a way to explain the intense excitement they had. So they had their clothes put in the wrong place, and the ornaments also. Yuguleshu dharyeshu kundal kankanadishu madhye ekam ekam vismritya samiyu. And ornaments which are in pair, like earrings or bangles, so in that they put only one and forgot the other one. And kritam ekekam eva patram sravneshu yabhi. And then this ekapatram is also a type of ornament which is put on the ear. So you put it around the ear and hang, so that it was only on one side and not the other side. So ekekam eva nupuram, and nupur, you know, nupur is pajab, payal or pajab? पायल, पाजेब नहीं सुना आपने? यहाँ बोलते, यहाँ पाजेब बोलते हैं, पायल भी बोलते हैं. पायल मोटी होती और पाजेब पतले वाले होते हैं. Different types. Pile is this thick. It can weigh 250 grams. Yes, you have not seen. It used to be so thick, both feet this thick. Now you don't see all those types of things. So nupuram yasham tasche. And dutiyam swalochanam nangtva kimtu ekam vamam eva kajjale nangtva ityartha. And then the other one, she put the kajjal only in the one eye and not in the other. And then ashnante ekas tadapasya sotsava abhyajyamana kritopamajjanaha svapantya uthaya nisham nishvanam prapayantyor bhamapohyamataraha. Then there was someone who was eating, ashnante eka tadapasya, so she stopped eating, and tadapasotsava. And then there was someone who was participating in some utsava, some festival, so she ran away from that. And abhyajyamana akritopamajjana, somebody who has put on some ubaton when you take bath, and then after that she did not take bath. She came out with the soap. And someone was sleeping and they heard the sound, so much commotion, people running, so they also got up and ran at what is going on. So nisamyas nisvanam. And some were feeding the babies, so they dropped that and ran to see Krishna. So tat asnam sotsava iti vivahadi karma parastat karma tyaktva. So he has interesting commentary on sotsava. He says there were actually some marriage ceremony going on, and the bride who was on the altar there, she ran away from there. She forgot that she has to perform the ceremony. So it says vivahadi karma parastat karma tyaktva. She dropped the marriage ceremony and ran. Pariniyamanaha kanyascha pati prakraman parikramanam asamapya eva tyartha. He says the meaning is that the girl who was getting married and she has to go around the fire. They have to go 7 times. So she dropped that halfway and ran to see Krishna. So that is the intensity of excitement, that she forgot the marriage. And Sakhibhir abhyajamana eva ta sakhi tiraskritya abhyangam api asamapya na kritam upadikyena majjaniyabhista snanam api asamapya klingatri. So abhyajamana has another meaning also. It means that someone was taking massage and she dropped that and told the friends who were giving massage that stop, and she ran to see Krishna. Another one was taking bath and she did not even wipe her body, came with wet cloths to see. So nitramiti ayatnena payanti ati yatnena payanti. So there was someone else who was very attentively feeding the baby milk, breast milk. Iti swayam patum ajanantam sadya prasutam api arbhakam apohya. And she dropped the baby and came to see Sri Krishna. So that is the intensity. Manansitasam arvinda lochanaha pragalbhalila hasitavalokanai jaharamatta durendra vikramo drisham dadat Shri Ramana manotsavam. So after describing the eagerness with which they came, now they are describing how they saw Krishna. So manansitasam arvinda lochana. So tasam arvinda lochana manansi pragalbhalila hasitavalokanai. So Sri Krishna, he was smiling, and Krishna was walking like a matta durendra. Jahara matta durendra vikramo drisham. So he was walking like intoxicated elephant, and then he threw his glances on them. Dadat Shri Ramana manotsavam. That glance which gives pleasure to Lakshmiji, with that he looked at them. And in this way, he stole their hearts. Manansi tasam arvinda lochana jahara. So jahara means stole. So Krishna, who has lotus eyes, so by his glances and smile, he stole their hearts. So that is the effect which had. So Shriya Swaswabhaya eva Ramayati Mathurangana Kridayati iti Sri Ramana. So that beauty of Krishna, or his smile, which gives pleasure to the ladies of Mathura, that is called Sri Ramana. Tena Atmana Dehena Drisham Utsavam Dadat Manansi Tasam Jahara. So with his body, Atma, he says here is body. So Drisham Utsavam Dadat. So Krishna's body was a festival for the eyes of the ladies of Mathura. And in this way he stole their heart by his wonderful looks. Chaksha Shambhoga Danena ta vivali kritya alakshitam eva manoratnani chorya nasetrati. So by giving pleasure to their eyes, he agitated vihilikritya, their minds, and then without being seen, he stole their hearts. So just like we read earlier that Krishna's flute sound when it came and it entered into the inner hearts of the gopis, which was described as like their treasure, and then the sound took away the wealth from their heart and ran, and then gopis were running behind to catch the thief, right? That's how it was described. So here also it says that Krishna is throwing his glances and this way stealing their hearts. So this is the festival for them. So we'll stop here. क्या संदीप जी?
So this description about the Mathura city and last few verses. So what is the Vyanjana of this is to describe the welcome of Krishna or the opulence of Kamsa, and despite the Kamsa being so opulent, still the Lord smashed him. What is the Vyanjana?
So smashing is whether if he is not opulent, then he should be smashed. What is the relationship of opulence and smashing, or not opulence and not smashing?
Opulence, smashing, like a lot of ahankar, and he is representing big ahankar, big ego.
No, where is the ego here?
So such decorated city and all the time, like he just it was not to welcome Krishna as such. So normally the city would be decorated like this 24/7.
No, it was a festival time. You already said that he has arranged for this festival.
Okay.
That's what he invited them to participate in the festival.
Okay. I missed that festival, so I think that is why he invited them to.
No, this is how Akrura went. This story came earlier. Kamsa has sent Akrura that you go and get these two boys, tell them that we are having a big festival here, Dhanush Yagya. So they should also participate. Nanda Maharaj should also come, so that they do not think that there is some hidden agenda behind it. The idea was to invite him and kill him. So therefore the whole city was decorated for that.
So I missed that part. Okay, thank you.
No, you did not miss that part. That came earlier, 2 chapters before.
I didn't remember.
That was last summer.
I'm wondering, what did the men of the city do during the day normally? I would suppose that the men who live on the countryside in villages, they were, occupied with farming and animal husbandry and so on. But and the women, they were, no matter where they lived, they were usually, working from home, right? So now the men in the cities, what were their occupations?
What do they do now?
They train cows.
Okay, play cards, drink chai.
What do people do now in cities? I mean, in the villages they still do the same thing, farming, etc. So what do people do in the city?
So nowadays, these kind of office work, also merchants, right? A lot of buying, selling.
Yeah, so previously also that was there. They will have shops, different types of shops, for cloth, for pots, for ornaments, for gems, grains, edible items, oils, ghee.
And does it mean that also the crafts that are required by everyone, such as carpenter and so on, these people, they also lived in the cities, right?
Yeah, they were also, some of them were living in the cities, or they will go and buy from different places. Like now also, you see all these shops, not everything is produced here. But these shopkeepers, they buy it from different places. So they were also doing that before. And then there will be people, king has got, so he has armies, servants, he has cows, horses, elephants. So there will be people who are hastipas, taking care of the elephants, cavaliers, and their stables. Their food has to come. So many things are involved. Because king always had army, so that would also have place inside.
And then here, it wasn't really described how these women got the news that now Krishna is coming. They just...
No, you have to just remember that the idea here is not to tell all these things.
Yeah.
You have to understand what is the Vyanjana. The idea is to show the greatness of Krishna, his beauty and fame. So you can understand, in the olden time, the news you also used to spread. We think now that only now because you have got cell phone and internet and WhatsApp. In the olden time also they had a system how the word will spread. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walked, thousands and thousands of people followed him. How, from where they came? They were not with him all the time. Wherever he went, the crowds came. So people come to know and then they run. Now you get the news but you don't go anywhere. Previously people actually used to run. There used to be so much excitement for this. You know, Faridabad, now what you see, Faridabad is all new town. The old town is a very small one. And our village is just few miles away from Faridabad. But there used to be one festival in the summertime, I think around this time. And we used to come from the village with bullock carts because there was nothing else in those days. So it will be such an excitement for us children to go to Faridabad, you know. We'll be preparing for it for months in advance. And then you go there, basically there was a small pond, lake. So everybody, I don't know what is the story behind it. It was called Bharai Ka Mela, you know. I don't know if they still have it or not, but I don't know the history, but that's all I remember. So you go on the bullock carts, you go there and go to this pond, and I don't know if we took bath or probably just sprinkled water on our head. I don't even remember that. And they just go around, there will be people selling things and eating this, doing that. That's all, and then in the evening come back. There will maybe some show or some like snake charmer type of people. And there's have these bears, and India they train them and make them some dance like that. Maybe there are also some plays on Mahabharata or something. So some entertainment like this and that Ferry wheel kind of thing, you know. That's an old thing. So there was not much things available in that. You know, you buy some flute or something which makes some music, balloons. Get this ice that that with the stick comes for 2 paisa in those days. So you eat with that, buy these goggles. And blow that thing, This is what I remember, So something like that, because in the village there was nothing. There were no shops in the village, So you go around and you see the shops and buy certain things, and then that's it. So this excitement, that is what is being described here. Okay? Yeah.
Yes, Babaji, I am curious because the description of these women from Mathura, from the description of the Vraja Gopis when they hear about Krishna or when they feel that Krishna is coming or is calling them, is quite similar. They also drop babies, they also drop husband and drop everything what they have. So I was wondering if the purpose of the text is to show that everything which is related to Krishna create that kind of excitements of those particular souls, or if there is a specific difference that we can perceive in the text between these women and Braja Gopis.
Yeah, they only came to see, they did not come to be with him or dance with him or anything. But just to show that Krishna is so beautiful that even these women, they were not having some love affair with Krishna like gopis, but even they have whatever they have heard, that also made them excited to see him. And that's what is being shown. Okay.